Well, this week's episode of The Acolyte seems to be all action and no substance. I'm here to review episode 5 of The Acolyte. And I can't say that there weren't parts of this episode that I didn't enjoy. Lots of fighting. Finally, there was finally some actual action in this episode. I'm going to run through a real brief summary of what happens in episode 5, and then I'm going to kind of go through some of the pros and cons, some of the characters, some of the dialogue, a little of this, a little of that. So we pick up, this episode is called Night, coming off of Day. Real clever titles here. This one is coming off of the last one. We're getting the payoff from the cliffhanger of the last episode where the Sith guy pushes them all and everything goes black, and then we don't see what happens. Of course, we start off, Osha wakes up and sits up, and I swear it's the goofiest sit up I've ever seen. She just sits up like an idiot. It was kind of reminiscent of that first Force Awakens trailer, where Finn just kind of stands up in the frame and looks around. Goofy stuff like that. It seemingly all throughout this show, goofy acting, goofy setup, just goofy stuff. So people are fighting the Sith. She is looking around. She finds her robot immediately, the only thing that she cares about in this entire world, and sees the Sith, and he's fighting the Jedi. And admittedly, there were some instances that were pretty cool. I did think the moment where he he stabs somebody and then pulls another person onto the lightsaber. I thought that was cool. Do I think that would have happened with experienced master Jedi? No. I mean, this kind of puts this guy on the level of Darth Maul and Palpatine in just how many Jedi he's murked. I mean, Count Dooku, who was a trained master Jedi and then Sith Lord, was going up against Obi-Wan and Anakin, who admittedly were pretty tough, but even in that first movie, they were giving him a run for his money. But this guy is quick. He's powerful. He's got apparently an incredible headbutt with his helmet that can disable lightsabers, interestingly enough. I don't know how that works. It's a new mechanic. Osha is told to go back to the ship with Yord. We get May is still inside, looking out, peeking out through that wooden door, doing nothing. We get a shot of her grabbing a lightsaber. Then we cut back to fighting. Eventually, Master Saul runs into the Sith. They fight. Yord and Osha are still running away. And May is still inside the house. She's in the house for what seems like way too long. And then she fights with the apprentice Jecki. And I would say they have a pretty decent fight. But all throughout, the acting, especially by Amandla Stenberg, it's rough, man. It's bad. I don't know if I noticed it more in this episode because of the music video that she released recently, or if there was just a lot more of her acting and then acting, face to face with herself. But I saw a lot of it, and man, it hurt to watch. But we get some the fight between Saul and between the Sith. Jecki eventually handcuffs May, and there's too many Star Wars names in this for me to keep track of. We come to a point where the fighting, everybody breaks off and starts running in different directions. After exposition dumps, just tons and tons of exposition dumps. I don't know how they wrote this many, but and they're not even. It's not even like exposition that describes anything. It gives you information about the characters. It's just exposition that is like, you're a Sith, or what are you doing here? I'm here because I'm killing people. It's literally, I'm not making this up. It's bad. Eventually, the Sith starts fighting with the apprentice Jecki. She's doing a pretty good job. She gets the Wookiee master's lightsaber and starts fighting, and you know, doing another Ahsoka. We get another Ahsoka. We get a shot where he busts his head against the lightsaber and breaks it. So when he does that, it sparks and he has trouble. They have trouble lighting up the lightsaber. She's holding it backhand. She's got the other one like up here. And they both look at the lightsaber as it ignites, and they have time to like look at it and for her to smile and do an Ahsoka where she starts fighting with the two lightsabers, one underhand, one normal. The fighting's not bad. I can't say that the fighting is bad. It's kind of that, prequel style of acrobatic fighting. The fighting is fun, and it's the best portion of this episode is the fighting. But at some point, fighting has to give way to actual storytelling, which the episode never does. It like hints at it with things with Master Saul, with the Sith teasing Master Saul. And then of course we get the big reveal after he like I guess stabs Jecki like 3 times in the chest. It was actually a pretty shocking scene. I did not expect them to take her out, and in a pretty violent manner. That was probably my favorite scene, and not because of the death of the apprentice, but I wasn't really expecting that from the show. And then we see his face. Of course, it's the discount Asian Ezra Miller guy. He played kind of the squirrely little helper dude, but now he got muscles on his arms. I know what they're going with. I don't know what their thinking was, but I know what they're going with. It's supposed to be a red herring. There's got to ultimately be a bigger bad that we're going to be facing up with, something that they weren't going to advertise in the marketing or something to that effect, or potentially May will be the villain. But that's the big reveal. Osha and Yord come back, and he legit just like snaps Yord's neck, which I wasn't expecting Jecki, but I could kind of see maybe her character going, but they were building up. It seemed like they were building up Yord. Did not expect them to just boom take him out. But hey, whatever works. I feel like they could have, with those characters, gotten a little bit more story out of them before they took them out like that. But maybe they want to focus on May and Osha because they're so interesting. It's kind of funny. They established the light thing, that the moths are attracted to the light. May slaps a light onto Ezra Miller's back, and the moths attack him after Master Saul gets him into where he wants him. He's got a lightsaber to his neck. He could kill him right there. They have a pretty cool fight. He lets him up. He lets him stand up. He lets him pick up his lightsaber. I mean, I was flabbergasted. He didn't have any handcuffs. Then they let the moths carry him away. This is the guy. This is the guy responsible for the masters being killed. I mean, get him, arrest him, do something. Let the non Jedi girl take him out. I don't know. She had a stun gun. Stun him. They don't do that. Ultimately, May comes back and stuns Saul, grabs Osha, tries to have a heart to heart with her, but Osha's not having it. She knocks her out and takes her clothes and sneaks on board with Master Saul at the end. And we see that Ezra Miller survives. This one actually sort of kept my attention as far as the action goes. Probably some of the worst dialogue so far between characters. No interesting anything. It's hints that Master Saul did something bad. We know. We got it. There were hints in the last episode, and the episode before, and the episode before that. We know he did something bad. They really want to hit the nail on the head. They want to bash you over the head with it. Like, they go so far as to have him say, why do you wear a mask? Why do you feel like you need to wear a mask? And the Sith is like, oh, why do you? It's the writing is so bad. I'll keep harping on that if I don't move on. Sword fights, lightsaber fights, cool. The hand-to-hand, actually, I thought with Saul and with the Ezra Miller guy, I thought was pretty good. I thought the Jecki and May fight was pretty good. Some, jujitsu type stuff. All of the force stuff, I would say, felt pretty weak. Even when he throws his lightsaber, it's spinning. It feels really slow. It's like a whoom, whoom, whoom kind of thing going on. Didn't enjoy that much. And it's all kind of like a push or a pull. There was one moment where Sith guy tries to stop Osha or May, one of them, and he grabs her. You see her stop, and then he does a motion like this, right? He kind of winds up and then tosses her to the side. She moves to the side, like she's being thrown to the side while he's still winding up this way. I thought that was pretty amusing. May does a force Hadouken. She hits her with one of these. And then ultimately we end on a dull, they get on a ship and they go. By the way, they leave all of the other Jedi, all of their lightsabers. They leave Jecki. They leave Yord. Everybody. They leave them. They didn't even look for May. They didn't look for anybody. They didn't look for the Sith's body. They just get on a ship and go. It's sad. It's a sad attempt at making something that kind of resembles Star Wars. And it took 4 episodes to get to a 5th one where something actually happens. All the other ones, like, nothing happens. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments. Do you like this episode? Do you hate this episode? Helmet. Never seen that before. Thanks for liking the video, subscribing to the channel. We'll see you next time.